Hi everyone, welcome back to The Vegan Atheist. In this video, I bring back, by popular demand, Crazy Shit the Bible Says number 4. This video is well past due, almost 2 years in fact, so let's not delay it any longer. For those new to the series, each video exposes some of the outrageous and immoral passages found in the world's most popular book. If you believe in this big book of ancient fantasy, then you ought to know about all the immoral things it has to say. The Bible like you've never seen it before. This week's Bible passage can be found in Exodus chapter 21 verses 7 through 11.
And if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her accordingly to the custom of daughters. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. And if he does not do these three for her, then she shall go out free without paying money.
Translation: If a father sells his daughter into slavery, here are the ground rules. If she displeases her master, who as it turns out is now also her husband, she has a chance to redeem herself. Her husband/slave owner is not allowed to sell her to foreigners. He is also allowed to marry her off to his son, but then must treat her like a daughter. If he takes for himself an additional wife, he is not allowed to stop feeding her or clothing her and has to maintain the marriage contract, thus now entering a polygamous relationship. If the slave master husband doesn't abide by these rules, he has to let her go free without having to pay her or her father any money. Great book of morality, my ass! What better example could be shown of a book clearly written by men who had no qualms against 1. Slavery in general, and 2. Selling one's family into it? Anyone who claims the Bible is a God's inspired word has not spent any time reading outside the pastor-approved verses. Do I really need to spend time discussing the immorality of slavery and the disgusting notion of selling your own child? How about the fact that a woman can be traded around as a commodity? For all the Bible apologists crying foul on context or interpretation, what I say to you lot is, stop. Just stop. There is no context or interpretation that makes this passage and many others moral. Unless I'm mistaken and the passages preceding it are,
the following are examples of immoral behavior you should never do. Do not own humans and do not sell your daughters.
That's, however, not what we find. These Bible verses do in fact state that A. Slavery is permissible. B. Selling your daughter into it is acceptable under certain restrictions. C. Polygamy is okay. D. In the event that a husband-slave owner is a dick, he has to set her free and will not be fined for it. If you believe a good God exists, then you at a bare minimum cannot accept that these verses reflect his wishes. If you refuse to accept these passages, and others like it, then how can you trust the rest of the book to be factual? Especially on all the crazy magical stuff like talking snakes, donkeys, walking on water, zombies, spirits, heaven, hell, resurrection, God. Are you relying on faith? Hoping it all works out and that God will one day explain all your worries away? Faith is not an argument for God. It is a crutch that impedes you from realizing how really fucked up this book is and how little evidence there is for a God. Want to read a Bible passage in a future video? Email me at veganatheist@hotmail.com. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button below. To ensure you don't miss out on future content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Want to have your say in what videos I produce? Have your desires known by voting in my online poll. Thanks for watching.